Support is when you hold someone up.
Support is helping somebody.
Enthusiastic cheerleading.
People standing alongside with you.
Hey, Doug. Welcome to Mission Year. Glad you came. Yeah, have a seat there. So, you excited to be here? We are glad you're here. Now, all you have to do is raise support.
So you want to serve in the inner city? Raising support is the part of Mission Year that can intimidate most of those who consider this call. But it really doesn't have to be something to dread. Hundreds before you have successfully raised their support, and we'll show you how you can effectively do that too. Included with your DVD is a CD-ROM with all sorts of resources, providing the forms you need and giving examples of how to do each step. These are some of the most practical, efficient tools we know of.
I was really intimidated when they gave us the number.
$12,000 is a lot of money to raise.
I thought it was ridiculous. I was like, there is no way.
I was a little scared.
I was scared. I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to raise that much. It worried me.
Because I didn't have much time, but I knew if I just followed the steps that God would come through.
Because he is bigger than $12,000 and he can do it.
One of the most important components in support raising is your attitude. It's all part of your growth process in ministry. Here's the idea.
It's not like bowling for dollars. It's not even really fundraising. It's building a network of supporters.
Some may wonder if support raising is really biblical.
Absolutely.
You bet.
The CD we've provided you has several scriptural examples. Let's highlight just a couple. Jesus and Paul. Luke 8:1-3 reminds us that Jesus was supported by several women and others who also joined to provide for his needs. And Philippians 4:10-19 illustrates how Paul was also supported by fellow Christian friends during his ministry.
Over the years, we found that support raising actually gives believers the opportunity to get involved in kingdom causes. Where their treasures are, their hearts will also be. It's a biblical privilege to give to kingdom causes.
So, how do you get started?
You gotta prepare.
Prepare.
Oh yeah.
Preparation is so important.
First, realize that if you are called to this mission, you must expect God will open doors.
Even though it was intimidating, I had no idea that I could do this successfully, but the Lord really provided.
It was only by the grace of God and being obedient to him that I was able to get the money to do Mission Year.
It's amazing.
We recommend that you pray.
Yes, pray.
God works in mysterious ways. You might be surprised.
Pray as if it all depends on God, and work as if it all depends on you.
Pray. Yeah, pray. You got to pray just to make it today.
People that you would never expect to support you will.
Begin early and don't procrastinate, because the sooner you get started on this stuff, the better chance you have of raising your support.
If you have a connection with the church, go ahead and talk to the pastor and see if maybe you could share with them why you want to do Mission Year and see how they can support you.
You must set aggressive but realistic goals. Here's the big picture. Your goal is to raise the $12,000 it costs Mission Year to have you on board. It breaks down to $1,000 a month. It's easier to raise your support when you're still at home, so make your goal to secure half of that, $6,000, before you arrive.
It's really important.
You'll need to make a contact list to do that. You'll need perhaps 150 names on average to raise enough support.
So how do you come up with 150 names? I would suggest that you're going to need to sit with someone and brainstorm to come up with that list of names. For example, your car breaks down on the other side of town, it's 2 a.m, who would you call? Don't just target people who you think can give you a lot of money. You'll be surprised by the folks who will give you $10 a month or $25 a month. It might be a classmate or a friend down the street or an aunt.
Securing monthly pledges is an effective way to meet your goal. Let's say you have 10 people giving $10 a month, 10 people giving you $20 a month, 5 giving $100 a month, and 1 person giving you $200 a month. That's $12,000. With only 26 people, you can be fully supported. It is doable. This is only one scenario. There are dozens of possibilities. So plan your strategy, then work your plan. Use the worksheet on your CD-ROM to help you with that.
So, missionary.
You need to be systematic,
Be focused.
and you need to be strategic in how you spend your time.
Once you have your list, you're ready to write your initial contact letter to introduce yourself and your ministry and explain what it is you want. In your letter, remember to give a brief explanation of what Mission Year does. Share your vision and how you will personally be involved. Ask them for financial support. Let them know that you will follow up soon with a phone call to explain more about your vision and answer any questions. Have a few people read your letter before you send it out. Make sure you sign each letter. Add a handwritten note to the bottom of your letter and hand address the envelope. Remember, your personal touch will go a long way. The CD-ROM has examples and will guide you through the process.
It's exciting.
Pray.
Begin early.
Make a list, write an initial contact letter.
And make a personal phone call. Make it personal. It's very important.
You will see how God provides. These need to be your first preparation goals.
Once again, a quick review. These are the first steps you need to include for getting supporters on board. Pray. Begin early. Meet with your church. Make your list. Write your contact letter. Follow up with a phone call if you can. Now that you've learned about the importance of preparation, let's get real practical in how this works and talk about the process. We recommend that you build your support team by meeting with people whenever you can.
As a pastor, I get inundated with thousands of requests of support every year, and I have to pick and choose between the ones that come through, and the ones that I choose to support are usually the ones that I have a personal contact with.
In your packet, we've included a CD-ROM that has forms and illustrations and examples for you to use to make your presentation most effective. You need to take what we've given you, and you need to personalize it so that it comes from your voice.
Your supporters are often supporting you and not just the ministry.
Personal contact is the most effective way to gain support.
When I tell them about Mission Year, they agree that it's a great idea and they might be all about the program, but it's the personal connection and that they know me that makes them willing to support what I'm doing and Mission Year through that.
So, shortly after your letters have gone out, we suggest calling your contacts with the hope of setting appointments to visit them personally. For some, it will be impossible because of distance.
But it is more effective when you have face-to-face personal contact.
Meet personally with as many as you can.
You can have the best game plan, but if you don't have a connection with someone, they can't look in your eyes and see the passion of your mission.
When you personally visit supporters, be polite and enthusiastic.
Be passionate about what you do. Be positive.
Your first focus should be to communicate your vision for the year. What you share in person is a bit different than your initial letter. Your CD-ROM has some suggested models for making your presentation. During your presentation, you must do what may seem hardest.
You have to pursue and seek people for support.
Oh yeah, you gotta go for the ask.
Practice is the key to shaking off the nerves.
I tried just to send letters. It didn't work. I had to approach people and ask them, can you support me?
So after I got out there, I actually tried it a few times and I enjoyed it.
And this is relatively easy. Spend time preparing your presentation. Practice it. Start with your friends and family, people you're closest to. Practice, practice, practice.
I really just got to share this ministry with other people and how exciting it is. And in the process, they are being blessed.
You want them to see your heart for this ministry. You want them to see your passion so that they will get passionate about it too. You want them to come alongside you in that.
One of the best ways to practice and to get more confident about your presentation is to role play.
The challenge with making a presentation is that we want to appear spontaneous and friendly. Actors and actresses appear that way all the time on screen. However, behind that presentation is a lot of work memorizing a script that allows them to have the appearance of spontaneity.
Prepare in advance for objections. That's reality. Some of them, in fact, may come from, yes, you.
Dear Lord, I will go anywhere. I will climb the highest mountain, cross the deepest sea, but please don't make me meet with people face to face.
Potential supporters might have some objections too.
I've heard everything. One of the things I hear people say is that the neighborhood's not safe.
I've had a lot of people who just say, why are you doing this where you have to raise support instead of working or finding some program that'll pay you.
Why are you throwing a year of your life away to work in the inner city?
We have had teams serving in urban neighborhoods for years, and there's always risk, but nothing gets done for God without risk.
Part of our call as a ministry is to stretch the church in their vision and understanding of issues of poverty and of discipleship. So when you get people involved, you give them an opportunity to hear of a larger vision, something great going on in the inner city. It stretches you, it stretches them.
This is an experience that transcends an academic experience or a 40-hour work week. This is a life-changing dream that you may never have an opportunity to do again. Many people who raised this objection had similar opportunities when they were younger. They chose not to take the time off, and they're living with that regret today.
It should be obvious, but we'll mention it anyway. When you do make your personal appeal, there are several things you should never do.
Don't beg. This is about sharing your vision and inviting people to join you with their support. So be confident, but be polite and respect their decision.
Guilt trips don't work.
So this is basically what Mission Year is all about. Do you feel like this is something you want to do by supporting me as a missionary?
I don't think so right now, no. I just
Right
don't-
now? There is no other time than now! The poor need our help now. If we don't help them, who will? Why will you not help me? I'm so confused!
Don't be pushing. Show Christ-like characters in the way that you ask for your support as well.
So this is basically what Mission Year is all about. Well, thank you for your time.
Sometimes we can give up too soon, not be bold enough, and we can tend to limit how God wants to move in people's lives.
Be bold. Let God work in their hearts.
Keep records on what they say and how they respond. Don't just try to remember it, but write it down. It'll keep you more organized.
It's really important to keep records. You don't want to have to talk to somebody 8 days later and find out that you can't remember what they said the first time.
For those who do agree to meet with you and support you, write a thank you note.
A simple act of saying thank you, whether it be through a note or even a phone call, makes all the difference in me continuing to support somebody, not just financially, but through prayer and in other ways.
If you do consider this not just receiving money for your work, but you consider it a ministry to your donors as well, then you need to acknowledge them. Don't treat them with indifference. Show them you care. Let them know that they're worth more than just their checkbook.
If they say no, they can't support you financially, then ask, may I count on you for prayer support?
Even if somebody says no to you initially, it's important to ask them if you can include them on your list for newsletters.
Yeah, I've actually found just through the whole process of newsletters that even if they don't support me initially, who knows, maybe they will eventually support me. But more importantly, I need the prayer.
I think what it does is it says, I'm not just interested in getting your money so I can go away somewhere for a year.
And for those you don't hear back from, make a follow-up call.
It's just so good to see how God blesses your hard work and your hard labor for support raising. You really see how He provides for you.
If you put in the work, you will receive an end product.
So this is basically what Mission Year is all about. Would you consider supporting me financially?
I think so. I like what you're doing there. Let me get my checkbook here.
It took a lot of time, and it took a lot of effort, but it was worth it.
Remember, begin early, pray earnestly, make your contact list, visit personally, share your vision with them, and ask politely but boldly. And although we've given you a list of how-tos, we encourage you not to limit yourselves to just the ordinary. Think creatively.
There have been some crazy things done to raise support. I mean, crazy. For example, one team member's mom volunteered to bungee jump in order to raise $6,000 for this person's ministry.
While this may be more than you want to do to raise support, there are myriads of options.
Don't be afraid to ask the staff for suggestions. We have some good ideas. We've been given some good ideas. We've stolen some good ideas. We might have something that works for you.
We're excited about your involvement with Mission Year as you stretch beyond yourself and trust God to do above and beyond all that you ask. You will personally grow, perhaps more than ever before. It's as much about God changing you as you helping to change others, but it's all worth the effort.
People want to give money to causes that count. You need to know that what you're doing is so important, and you need to believe that. Because if you believe that, people will be willing to give you money to support what you're going to do for the next year. And they will know whether you believe it in your heart or whether you're just going through the motions.